Starting point of my thesis was to study the Verul village and how it shapes the livelihood and economy of people, highlighting various cultural practices and the positions taken by the villagers in the heritage. Aim is to examine residents' perspective and small contribution to economic development of Verul village by introducing a space of interaction between tourists and villagers in the context of a rural fabric. So here I introduce three focus lenses for my thesis, where increased tourism affecting environment of the rural fabric with the development pressure on land is fueled by tourism and not as a result of natural growth of population or lack of amenities, which affects the character of Verul settlement, especially its village, leading to decay of community life and gradual death of architectural aesthetics and unique charm of settlement. You can see the Aurangabad district map, and here Khultabad is the nearest sub-district to the Ellora village, and Aurangabad to Ellora is about 27 kilometers. Here the population is 6,978 with the geographical area to 27 kilometers square, and primary occupation of about 75 to 80% people here is agriculture. The government is now making the environmental development strategies for this village. So their economical action plan consists of biodiversity and conservation and management, and two sustainable habitation and infrastructure plan with other location specific plan, if any, like ecotourism, heritage improvement, etc. But what they failed, looking at it, it was to integrate existing schemes for rural areas in village development plan, or to build capacity of institutional models and professionals to ensure implementation and sustainability. So they have a scope to determine growth patterns of the village and main occupation of the villagers. Then how can architecture create employment opportunities for the locals who are the actual users of this place? And how is architecture important in creating sustainable development through tourism? So when I see a Verul village, Verul has something to hold on to. Like there is some missing link. Can architecture actually connect to that link? Is so the heritage walk starts from Ellora Caves, and Aurangabad Khultabad highway opens up into the narrow street with caves on one side and shops and settlement in the left hand side. So there is an instant release of the space while moving towards different caves. So from Ellora Caves, the walk leads to Krishneshwar Temple. So in between there are multiple small hotels and restaurants and shops, and then and then there is this Krishneshwar Temple, which is just built by Ahilyabai Holkar, and this place attracts around 4,000 pilgrims per day. And there are about 100 people working in this temple's office. So the parikrama started from Krishneshwar temple leads to Ahilyabai Holkar Tirth. A series of steps open up into the Kund with the river Yeganga. So here we can see other important religious places as well. This is Jama Masjid Vishwakarma temple, and here is the Shivaji Smarak. And coming back to the caves, there is a visitor center which was opened to public in 2013, and it is situated about half kilometer from caves, and it is open to visitors between 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Aurangabad Khultabad Road is the main entry point to the village and heritage sites. And here is this is the primary road, and the red one is the main street, and is the settlement where 160 houses are kacha and 800 houses are semi kacha. So it kind of shows that income levels of villagers is low and they cannot invest enough in housing and the construction. So it also goes to show that they don't get benefits from government programs like Indira Awas Yojana, as there are only 370 Pakka houses. The map is depicting the rural level use in the village. So in this village, 729 families own 1 to 2.5 acres of land and use it to cultivate seasonal vegetables to feed their families. And only 76 families have land of 5 to 10 acres, and 94 have land above 10 acres who practice commercial farming. There are many temples, masjids, then crafts market, restaurants, informal stalls, then hotels. There are increasing number of hotels. There are about 10 resorts and homestays and many more in process. And also there are 17 temples with one masjid over here. Over here, the schools are there with six Anganwadis, three primary and two secondary schools here with one college. And there are other social amenities which includes Gram Panchayat office, Khana library, village pond which is available over here, and animal shade hospitals, clinic, post offices. So here is the tourist circuit and everyday life movement map, giving idea about the market and type of activity. So the number of tourists come here is about 1 lakh per month, which is which is highly which is major in months of October to Jan. And so in the tourists market, there is handloom textile shops of Himru fabrics where you get the handmade Himru fabrics, and shawls and designed patini saris, etc. So there are also the shops where you can get the stone jewelry and artifacts. So other type is sale of old telephone sets, recycled cameras, showpieces, postcards, paintings, books, etc. The village has a large cultural resource where visitor center is an information source of Ellora, but it has not been working since 2017 due to the lack of funds, and the villagers and vendors doesn't get benefits through it because they've been assured to have their space like shopping centers in it. So, through the studies, interaction, and interviews on site, I started evolving a program suitable for project contributing to sustainable development. Also, cultural heritage and education should be integrated into an inclusive, lifelong learning approach. So here, the intervention is located 300-meter away from its current major attractions, the caves, over currently barren site near visitors center, which is at the extreme left of the site. Proposed site, which is easily accessible to the villagers also and tourists also, and it is uplifted to get the view of Ellora Caves and the village, where you can have the trail for the visitors, where you can enter and go to the visitor center via seeing the caves and go to the pilgrims walk also. Formulating the program such that tourism and agriculture serve as a livelihood for the locals, and where I functions into three parts, which is market, agriculture, and culture. So this is the distribution of land according to the agriculture and tourism, from the according to the land use study. And here is the green cover of the site, where red is the primary road and the main street on the site. So here are the pedestrian paths which are shown in the symbols. Then there is this service road, and these are the parking spaces where they had WADA typology. Um, Before usually using brick, stone, mortar structures, and now it introduces us the vernacular architecture using it in the housing. So the same material palette is used for royalty, the elite, and housing of common man in Ellora. But today the style has changed to brick and mud, and some of the structures are of stone also. The thick stone and brick walls help in coping the temperatures, while fenestrations ensure the participation in the events happening in gullies and along the streets, etc. So the passive techniques can be used in to prevent hot winds topography of the site. And here is the water surface runoff with the stream mapping. Uh, so the arrows are going towards the depth where I can use the water ponds for harvesting water. Retention ponds are being placed to prevent flooding, and retaining existing trees and strengthening them with the plants around them is a strategy to have water as an organization tool, as it allows as the slope allows me to have plant these strategies. This is the courtyard section for the roof design according to the wind flow and passive system strategy, where I used the skylights and green roof to prevent it from the sunlight. Um, these are the stages of intervention, where first is according to the water surface runoff, the retention ponds are being placed, and adding two parts of the intervention on site is a public program, and the movement is adjacent and around the ponds. To place my programs according to the site context, where I divided it into the three buildings, where first is the plaza, second is for culture and agriculture, plus market and amphitheater, and then there is this the creche and dormitories for the volunteers and villagers who are willing to stay here for the practice. They are for the practice of agriculture. To connect ramps to the roofs, uh, for to choreograph a public movement through these objects. The top of the structure is a public garden. It is also a display and workspace for the artist to be able to build installation. Here, I also wanted to give a trail and a trail for the visitors and biodiversity gardens where they can have some picnic spots. And these are the farmlands. As I'm introducing agriculture institution, where seed bank and information center and other kind of programs are to be invented. They can also have the farmlands as a space for the experimentation on their crops. So, considering Aurangabad, the public circulation is shaded with trees and pergolas. The master plan. The first is the cafeteria and a cycle rental stand, where they can have the bicycles and have a walk around the site, and they can also go to the visitor center if they want to. Then there is a agriculture institution and vocational training center for culture and agricultural practices. The In the middle, there is the market and amphitheater, and these are the water bodies present in between the buildings, and this is the dormitory building, and in between they have the picnic spot. Proposed site section. The ground floor plan consists of a small plaza in building 1, and in the main building there is a waiting area and a small cafeteria. Enter into the building. Then there are few admin offices and storage space, which is to cater the events in the village. So the second part of the main building provides spaces for farmer shops and seed bank, which provide government approved seeds over here. And there are few design spaces for Himro silk weaving workshop. It is shaded by planting trees. Here is the here is the creche and a creche for the children, and dormitories for the volunteers and the farmers who come to learn and work in the agriculture institute. So here is the first floor, where the whole building is accessible with ramps and stairs. So as you go to the first floor, there are these workshop spaces with exhibition areas in the first building, and in this building. And here is a solar training center with information technology offices with one labor employment office. So then these are some views. This is the view from the main street towards intervention and visitor center. And this is the horizontal view. This is the section cutting through the main building, where green roof is given to retain rainwater and increase agricultural space with skylight for daylighting. And here is the detail about louvered windows, which allows the right amount of sunlight to enter into the building. So these are the three conditions: morning, afternoon, and evening. This is another section giving data. These are the farmlands, and this is the view towards the cave. Here is a long section where green roof is trying to merge into the landscape. There is the wholesale market area in the central courtyard, and this space can be used for Ellora Fest as well. We see where the biofuels are used to buffer rainwater and allow it to infiltrate, which improves the quality of surface water and prevents it from drying out. So these are also some of the views from walking through ramps and looking towards the amphitheater. In DD, which is cutting across the dormitories. Highlights. This section shows green roofing layers, detail A and B. This is the detail for curtain creepers to cover the wall with a green cover. This is the exploded view, which shows the construction and technological aspects of the building. These are the water supply calculations, where total water collected on terrace is 2640 cubic meter. Solar panels are used of size 1600 to 900 mm, which are the most efficient at varying angles depending on the time of the year and season. So this system will be connected to the main village grid, and the transactions will make place as net loss and gain of electricity. This will cater both for the excess generation in winter as well as the dearth of generation in peak monsoon season.